Hello to all my cancers. Butch Tarot here. I am going to do a 1 week read. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. First, I'm going to pull an oracle card from the Earth and Bone Oracle. Universe, give us a message for cancers. I don't know why I throw them so far. Faith, hope, inspiration, rejuvenation. I'm going to use a Wild Reflections Tarot. And with all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what message do we have for cancers? All right, so I'm getting this really strong energy, and I gotta say it. I feel like for some of you, you may have lost someone recently. We have the six of Cups, and then the Three of Swords. It's that heartbreak. You know, I mean, I feel like feeling a lot of loss and feeling. So for some of you, I feel like this may be someone you lost, like a family member or a friend, an untimely loss. And for those who resonates with that, I truly am sorry. And for others, it may just be a loss of a partner, as in a coming to an end, because we do have the Ten of Swords as well as the Tower card. But I do feel like a very strong message is meant for someone out there that I feel like they did lose someone that was important to them in an untimely way. I mean, I feel like that message is for someone very specific, but for others, I feel like it is losing someone that, you know, meant a lot to you. You know, a lot of late nights, a lot not being able to sleep, a lot of looking at the negatives instead of the positives, kind of being stuck in your own head. I feel like there's a lot of energy here, really a lot of heavy energy. And I feel like with that, it's got this kind of like this dark cloud vibe going through a lot right now. And I feel like some of you may be just coming out of it. Some of you may be still in it. I do see the clouds beginning to break, though, on a much needed positive note. I feel like someone steps up for you. like someone shows up for you, and I feel like this is more of a friendship. This is where I feel like this is beginning. I feel like someone showing up for you, someone that's just there to listen, someone that's just there to be there for you and truly show up for you. You know, and I feel like with this person, it's a very safe energy. Like you feel very safe when you're around this person. Like, I mean, for some of you, I don't feel like you even know this person. I feel like this is a new person coming in, but you know, and for others, it may be someone that you did know, but I feel like this connection that you have with this person, this is all new. But like I said, I mean, I feel like there's a very safe feeling when you're with this person. You know what I mean? Like with that Emperor, that Aries energy, and then we have the eight of Wands as well. It's like this person is someone that is genuinely there for you. You know when sometimes people act like they're there for you because it's an obligation or they feel like they need to be there. Then there's people that just authentically they give off that vibe that they're just there because they know that because you need them to be there, and they're showing up for you. And I feel like with this person is a very important time for you to have someone show up. You know, this person showing up, giving to you, and not so much just always. I feel very, hot and cold energy with this connection, and not in the fact that it goes hot and cold, but there's moments when they just understand that all they need to do is be there. They don't have to talk. They don't have to, you don't have to communicate at all. They're just there. I mean, this person is giving to you. They're giving time, energy, and love. And it's from a very genuine place. You know, we have the King of Cups. You know, it's a very nurturing energy. We have that Aquarius energy with the Star card. And I feel like with this person, them just showing up, them just putting in the work, them just being them, I feel like this connection starts to brew between the two of you. You feel this authentic love from this person. And like I said, I do feel like it's a newer energy, so it does come off kind of unexpectedly. You know, a lot of times in life, we don't pick when we meet people. You know, we don't pick when we meet the right one. And I bring that up because I feel like this person, I feel like there's a lot going on with you and this person, and I feel like it's only building. This is only the beginning, Cancer. We have the Two of Cups. You know, I feel like this is the beginning of a lifelong connection. You know, we have the Family card. You're just feeling very comfortable with this person, feeling very welcomed. You know, feeling like when things happen and we just want to go home and snuggle under our blanket, or we just want to, just kind of get away from the world for a minute. Where do we go? We go to our home, the place that we feel the most at home. And with this person, I feel like it becomes very clear that that's where home feels like for you. Like just having this person, and like I said, the Two of Cups is that, very strong connection happening between the two of you. And it comes from a very authentic place, very genuine energy. I mean, I see new love here. And like I said, it is something that, I mean, we have the Death card, is this huge transformation. I mean, I feel like with this person, it's night and day. It's like having your worst moment turn into if you've ever had that moment where you felt like it was the worst moment ever in your life and nothing was going to be the same. And, sometimes you even feel so down in that moment. You feel like you can never be brought back up again. Like you're going to be here forever now. that's why I love this energy, because it's like the perfect timing. I feel like you needed this right now, and the universe didn't let you down. This person won't let you down. I mean, I see a lot of forward movement. Like I said, I see this transformation in your life, and I feel like we go through cycles in life where we, we have our ups and downs, but to have our biggest up on the edge of our biggest down, I mean, you can't script that. A lot of times we don't realize how, we feel so small, and we don't feel, sometimes we feel so excluded from the world. And I know that sounds so dramatic, and I don't mean it to sound that dramatic, but there's some moments when we feel like losing someone untimely, or a huge breakup, to someone that you were, that you had an amazing connection with, or that you spent a long time with. In those moments, it's hard to see the light. It's hard to see you being happy again. And a lot of that'll take over. The best thing that possibly could happen is what's happening. I feel like this person, you're still gonna have to get over it. You're still gonna have to work through it. You're still gonna have to find a way through it. And I don't want to seem, insincere when I say that it's getting over it. I mean, I feel like we all have to get over things, and we have to do it in our own time. And I feel like having someone that understands that is going to be a huge, huge upside here. And it just shows the character of this person. I feel like you will be happy again, and it's sooner than you think. And I feel like finding strength in this connection, finding strength. Sometimes we're not strong. Sometimes we feel weak. And sometimes we have, having that person that comes in and kind of shares their strength with us, or kind of breathes in some new life into us. I mean, this is an incredible connection, and I'm so glad I'm a part of it. I really feel connected to this read, and I enjoy it. Like, I enjoy when things come together as they should. Like I said, I see a lot of forward movement with that Cancer energy, the Chariot card. Like I said, sometimes all we need is someone to listen. Sometimes we're going through shit, and to have someone that just listens, that doesn't necessarily come in and try to fix things. Sometimes you can't fix it. Especially when it's in a moment where you just feel like, you feel alone, and you feel like nobody understands. And having that person, sometimes they don't understand. But that doesn't stop the fact that they're there for you. I mean, I see this going. I see so much happiness in your future with this person. I see this person being the rock that you need them to be when you need them to be it. Like I said, and I mean, perfect timing. The perfect person at the perfect time. With this person, I mean, we have Aries, we have Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, and Aquarius. Again, for the person that this was meant for, you have my deepest condolences. Loss is hard, and that's the thing with loss is we all got to deal with it in our own time. We all have to deal with it. Unfortunately, that's just part of life. We all have to deal with it, but some people just try to push you into dealing with it, and some people actually allow you to work through it. And I feel like if you push through things too quickly and you don't feel it, no matter what happens in life, if you don't feel it, it will come back. It was unresolved. Unfortunately, I know this from my own experiences. We, me and Rose, we had lost a son, and it was one of those moments like I was talking about. It was dark. It was dark, and I never thought I'd ever see light again. I never wanted to see it. I didn't care if I seen it. I was just living in that moment, and it affected me long after I ever, I didn't know what to expect from it. But it was one of those things where I tried to push it down and it just wouldn't go down. I tried to fight it. I tried to, I tried to man through it. It was the stupidest thing I ever did. So many people were in my head saying, you gotta go through it. You gotta go through it. Fortunately enough, the only thing that kept me going, and I'm going to be honest with you, the only thing kept me going is I had we had two other boys. And if it wasn't for them, I don't know what I would have done. I don't know. I probably would have just drifted off into the nothingness, and it's unfortunate to say that, but even I look back and we lost them in November, in 2015, and it was, even looking back at those Christmas pictures, it was just, I don't really even remember it. I just went through the process, buying gifts for the boys, being there, and I didn't feel happy. I didn't, and little spikes of happiness here and there. But I mean, even looking back at the pictures, I don't remember it. And I have the craziest memory you'll ever meet in a person. Like, I remember everything. And I don't remember that Christmas. I see it in pictures and I see it, and that's how I remember it. And I just, because I was trying to fight it, I was trying to push it down, and I didn't work through it. And all these people are saying things, but all these people don't know. I'm not saying they don't know what it is to lose someone. I'm not saying but they don't know what I felt like in that moment. They don't know what Rose felt like in that moment. And I try to be strong for both of us, and I try to be strong for our kids. And the only way to be strong is to, it's like if you break your leg, you can't just go out and run tomorrow. You gotta fix it, and then you build it back up. But like I said, it was just joyless. It really felt joyless for a while. And then we had a miracle. We had a little girl that was born. We had her 2 years after that. And I'll tell you, it was stressful in the beginning because, when they're babies, they're so vulnerable. They're so, with him, he had a weak heart, and we didn't know. But it was so stressful. It was so stressful. But the amount of joy, it was almost like a light switched on when I seen her. It was just, she brought joy back into my world. And not that my other kids didn't. It was just like I said, there was little spikes of happiness with my boys, but I was just still fighting it. And with her, I just let it all go. And I just let it happen. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my boys and Rose, 100%. I don't think I would. But I found joy when I had her. You know, I found joy again. And I don't know how to explain that. Like I said, with the boys, I still had joy. There's joyful moments we had, but it was very quick too. She was born in October, 2 years after he had passed away in November. She was born in 2017, and that 2 years, I mean, it was really, if you really think about it, it was only a year because we found out she was pregnant 9 months before she had our daughter. That was stressful. It brought back a lot of old memories, but it gave me hope again. You know, I hoped and I prayed and I went through a lot. And we had her and she was healthy, and, you know, I never thought I'd be happy again. I never thought I would be able to let it go. And I never really let it go. I just learned to work through it. Anyway, I don't mean to dump all that on you. I don't usually talk about this, but sometimes you just gotta say it, you know? Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here before yeah. Love y'all. Be good. Take care. Stay safe.